Welcome to the Truth Chronicles. In this episode, we delve into the JFK assassination. Was there a second shooter in the JFK assassination? This question has kept minds racing and hearts pounding for decades, ever since that fateful day in November 1963. President John F. Kennedy, a charismatic leader with a promising future, was on his customary motorcade journey through the heart of Dallas' Dealey Plaza, to be precise, when the unimaginable happened. A hailstorm of bullets rained down, leaving the nation and the world in shock and grief. From the ashes of this tragedy rose a man named Lee Harvey Oswald. He was apprehended, charged with the heinous act of assassinating the president. Oswald, a former U.S. Marine, self-proclaimed Marxist, was pegged as the lone gunman, but before he could be tried and potentially provide answers to the countless questions swirling around, fate intervened. Enter Jack Ruby, a nightclub owner with alleged ties to organized crime. Just 2 days after Oswald's arrest, Ruby, in a move that stunned the world, shot and killed Oswald while he was in police custody. This shocking event was broadcast live on national television, adding another layer of mystery and an intrigue to an already baffling case. The sudden and violent demise of Oswald left a gaping hole in the investigation. Without a trial, without his testimony, the truth, or at least Oswald's version of it, was buried with him. This vacuum of knowledge has led to the birth and growth of numerous conspiracy theories, each more tantalizing and confounding than the last. Yet as we delve deeper into the events surrounding the JFK assassination, one question echoes louder than the rest, a question that's been the epicenter of countless investigations, heated debates and speculative theories. Was Oswald acting alone? Or was there another gunman, a second shooter hidden in the shadows of Dealey Plaza, forever altering the course of American history? The curtain of uncertainty has yet to be lifted, leaving us, even after all these years, in a state of suspenseful anticipation. But the question remains, was Oswald acting? As we continue our journey into the heart of this enduring mystery, we'll explore this question and many others, shedding light on one of the darkest chapters in American history. Imagine a second shooter hidden away on a grassy knoll. This is the heart of one of the most enduring conspiracy theories surrounding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The theory suggests that Dealey Plaza's grassy knoll acted as a hidden vantage point for a second shooter who could have fired at the president's motorcade as it passed. Proponents of this theory often point to the trajectory of the bullets that struck Kennedy. They argue that some of these trajectories are inconsistent with a shot fired from the Texas School Book Depository where Lee Harvey Oswald was positioned. Instead, they suggest that these bullet paths align more closely with a shot coming from the grassy knoll. Eyewitness accounts also lend weight to this theory. Some individuals present at Dealey Plaza that fateful day reported hearing shots fired from the direction of the grassy knoll. Could the grassy knoll have harbored a second gunman? That's the question that continues to fuel this fascinating conspiracy theory. One bullet, multiple wounds. How plausible is the magic bullet theory? Let's dive in. The magic bullet theory posits that a single bullet caused multiple wounds on both President Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally. According to the account, this one bullet entered Kennedy's back, exited his throat, then proceeded to strike Connally, causing injuries to his chest, wrist, and thigh. A bullet that performs such acrobatics seems to some nothing short of magical, hence the term magic bullet theory. Critics, however, find this theory hard to swallow. They contend that, given the trajectory and the number of wounds inflicted, it's highly improbable for one bullet to have caused such extensive damage. Skeptics also point to the bullet's near-pristine condition as further evidence of the theory's implausibility. Thus, the magic bullet theory remains a contentious topic in the JFK assassination discourse. Could one bullet really have caused so much devastation? We're left pondering. An umbrella in sunny weather, a protest, or a signal for the assassination? Now, let's turn our attention to a peculiar figure that day in Dealey Plaza, the Umbrella Man. Amid the waving crowd under the Texas sun, this solitary figure stood inexplicably with an open umbrella. What was the purpose of this umbrella? Some believe it was an innocent, albeit odd, protest against Kennedy's father's alleged support for Neville Chamberlain's policy of appeasement. The umbrella in this case symbolized Chamberlain, who was often seen carrying one. However, others speculate that this was no ordinary umbrella. Was it a signal for the shooter, or could it have been a concealed weapon itself? The Umbrella Man, later identified as Louis Stephen Witt, testified that his umbrella was merely a form of protest, but doubts linger. Was the Umbrella Man simply a protester, or was there more to his story? The enigma of the Umbrella Man continues to fuel the fire of conspiracy theories surrounding the JFK assassination. Could Cuban interests have played a role in Kennedy's assassination? This question brings us to the next theory in our exploration, the Cuban connection. Let's delve into this theory, which suggests that Kennedy's administration's involvement in anti-Castro activities might have triggered a motive for his assassination. In the early 60s, the Kennedy administration was known for its aggressive stance against the communist Cuban regime led by Fidel Castro. There were numerous attempts to overthrow Castro, most notably the Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961, which ended in a disastrous defeat for the US. This failure was a significant embarrassment for Kennedy, and it heightened tensions between the two nations. In the midst of these ongoing conflicts, Kennedy was assassinated. This timing led some to theorize a possible Cuban connection. The theory suggests that Castro, in retaliation for the numerous assassination attempts against him, might have orchestrated Kennedy's murder. Another aspect to consider within the Cuban connection theory is the role of anti-Castro Cuban exiles. In the wake of the failed Bay of Pigs invasion, many Cubans felt betrayed by Kennedy's administration. The theory suggests that these exiles, bitter and seeking revenge, could have been involved in the assassination plot. But let's not forget the alleged involvement of Lee Harvey Oswald, the official suspect in Kennedy's murder, who had known links to communist sympathizers and had lived in the Soviet Union. Oswald's connections, coupled with Kennedy's anti-communist policies, certainly add an intriguing layer to the Cuban connection theory. However, like other theories we've explored, the Cuban connection lacks concrete evidence. While it's true that the Kennedy administration had strained relations with Cuba, there's no definitive proof linking Castro or the Cuban exiles to the assassination. Could Castro or Cuban exiles have had a motive to eliminate Kennedy? The possibility remains a topic of intense debate and speculation. As with every theory surrounding Kennedy's assassination, the Cuban connection offers more questions than answers. The search for truth continues, leaving room for endless interpretation and conjecture. Did the Mafia have a hand in the Kennedy assassination? This question has been a source of intrigue and speculation for decades. The theory arises from the Kennedy administration's crackdown on organized crime, which had significant implications for the Mafia. This crackdown was led by none other than Attorney General Robert Kennedy, JFK's brother, who made it his mission to dismantle Mafia operations. The Mafia, as we know, is not an organization to take such actions lightly. It thrives on power, money, and influence, and the Kennedy administration was a direct threat to these. Theories suggest that the Mafia, feeling cornered and threatened, may have decided to retaliate in the most drastic way possible by orchestrating the assassination of the president himself. At the center of these theories is one man, Carlos Marcello, the head of the New Orleans crime family. Marcello had been deported to Guatemala by Robert Kennedy in the early 60s, and he allegedly told an FBI informant that he wanted to get back at Robert by targeting his brother, the president. Other figures in the Mafia, such as Chicago mob boss Sam Giancana and Tampa godfather Santo Trafficante Jr., also reportedly had grievances against the Kennedys. Giancana in particular felt betrayed, as he allegedly helped JFK secure the presidency through his influence in the labor unions, only to face a crackdown by the same administration. But despite the alleged motives and the intriguing theories, the question remains: did the Mafia really have the capacity and audacity to assassinate a sitting US president? The FBI in its investigations found no evidence to support this theory. However, some conspiracy theorists argue that the lack of evidence could be attributed to the Mafia's notorious ability to cover its tracks. So we're left with an unsolved mystery. Did the Mafia, in a desperate move to protect its operations, orchestrate one of the most shocking events in US history? Or is this theory just another layer of speculation in the complex and controversial narrative surrounding the Kennedy assassination? Was the Mafia involved, or are these theories just another layer of speculation in the Kennedy assassination? Only time will tell if we ever get a definitive answer. So many theories, so many questions. As we wrap up our exploration into the JFK assassination, we've seen that the event is shrouded in mystery and intrigue. We've delved into the enduring theory of a second shooter concealed on the grassy knoll whose presence is suggested by bullet trajectories and eyewitness accounts. We've examined the perplexing magic bullet theory, purporting a single bullet inflicted multiple wounds on both Kennedy and Texas Governor Connally. We've scrutinized the enigmatic umbrella man, speculated to signal or wield a weapon, yet claiming to protest Kennedy's father's support for appeasement policies. We've also considered the Cuban connection, with Kennedy's anti-Castro activities potentially providing a motive for Cuban interests. And finally, we've explored the possibility of mafia involvement due to the administration's crackdown on organized crime. In the end, the question remains: was there a second shooter in the JFK assassination? That, dear viewer, is for you to decide. Well, what if the very organization sworn to protect us was involved in one of the greatest conspiracies of our time? This question has been at the heart of numerous conjectures and debates, especially when it comes to the Central Intelligence Agency, better known as the CIA, and its alleged involvement in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Much of the speculation surrounding the CIA's involvement stems from its covert activities during the Cold War. This was a time when the agency was highly active in clandestine operations around the globe, often involving regime changes and assassinations. This period of covert action has led some to believe that the CIA was not just capable of orchestrating such an event, but may have had a motive to do so. Some theorists suggest that Kennedy's policies were not in line with the agency's objectives, and his intention to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds, as he reportedly said, following the Bay of Pigs invasion, may have given the agency a motive to eliminate him. Of course, these theories are not without their critics. Many argue that the CIA, despite its covert activities, was not involved in Kennedy's assassination. They point out that the CIA has been held accountable for many of its past misdeeds, and there is no concrete evidence linking the agency to Kennedy's death. However, others argue that the very nature of the CIA's covert operations makes it difficult, if not impossible, to uncover any direct involvement. They suggest that the agency's ability to operate in secrecy and without oversight could easily allow it to carry out such a plot without leaving any traceable evidence. In the end, the question remains: could the CIA have been involved in Kennedy's assassination? While the agency's covert activities during the Cold War certainly cast a shadow of doubt, the lack of concrete evidence makes it difficult to definitively implicate the CIA. The CIA's secret activities during the Cold War certainly cast a shadow of doubt, but is it enough to implicate them in the assassination? The answer to that question continues to elude us, leaving room for speculation and debate that continues to this day. Could key witnesses have been silenced to hide the truth? This question has fueled conspiracy theories for decades, suggesting that individuals who could have shed light on the JFK assassination were either intimidated or silenced altogether. The idea is not entirely without merit, as the Cold War era was rife with covert operations and shadowy dealings. It's argued that these witnesses, who might have contradicted the official narrative or offered evidence of a second shooter, were systematically silenced to maintain the lone gunman narrative. Some theorists go as far as to suggest a grand orchestration by power figures to keep these potential witnesses under wraps. But as with any theory, it's crucial to examine the actual evidence. Were these witnesses truly silenced, or did they simply have nothing to add to the narrative? The silencing of witnesses adds another layer of mystery to the JFK assassination, but what does the evidence say? Could there have been more than one shooter? This question has lingered over the Kennedy assassination case, fueling countless debates and conspiracy theories. Two key arguments often cited in support of this theory are acoustic evidence and eyewitness accounts. In the 1970s, a controversial analysis of audio recordings from the assassination brought a new twist to the tale. The analysis suggested the presence of at least 4 shots, potentially supporting the idea of multiple gunmen. An echo, a misinterpretation, or a genuine second shooter? The debate continues, with some experts arguing that the acoustic evidence is compelling while others point to flaws in the analysis. Then we have the eyewitness accounts. The day that President Kennedy was assassinated, Dealey Plaza was teeming with bystanders, many of whom became accidental witnesses to a historic tragedy. Some of these witnesses claim to have seen or heard gunfire coming from directions other than the Texas School Book Depository, where Oswald was positioned. Could their accounts point to the presence of a second shooter hiding in the grassy knoll or another location? This question has added fuel to the fire of the second shooter theory. However, it's worth noting that eyewitness accounts are often unreliable. Human memory is fallible, and in a moment of panic and chaos, it's possible to misinterpret what one sees or hears. Additionally, some of these accounts conflict with each other, adding another layer of complexity to the investigation. So where does this leave us? The acoustic evidence and the eyewitness accounts introduce the tantalizing possibility of a second shooter. However, they also raise more questions than they answer, and interpretations of the evidence vary widely among experts. The idea of multiple gunmen certainly adds intrigue to the story, but is it supported by the evidence? That's a question we'll delve into as we explore the counter-arguments to the second shooter theory in the next part of our series. What does the physical evidence tell us? Well, let's delve into the forensic analysis. This includes a deep look into bullet trajectories and ballistics. You see, extensive studies have been carried out to understand the path and behavior of the bullets. The majority of experts agree that the physical evidence points to a single shooter. The angles, the entry and exit wounds, the bullet fragments, almost all of it aligns with the theory of a lone gunman. Then we have the Zapruder film. This film, capturing the assassination in detail, has been pored over countless times. Frame by frame, experts have examined and re-examined this piece of evidence, and yet it does not conclusively point towards a second shooter. The timing, the movements, the reactions, nothing definitively suggests the presence of another gunman. Now let's discuss the capability of Oswald himself. He was an experienced shooter, and firearm experts have demonstrated that it's possible for him to have fired the 3 shots within the required time frame. Oswald's training, his shooting skills, his familiarity with his weapon, all these factors weave together to support the lone gunman theory. And finally, let's consider the conclusions of official investigations. Numerous inquiries, including the Comprehensive Warren Commission, were conducted. Their findings? Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in assassinating President Kennedy. These investigations were thorough, extensive, and they involved some of the best minds in the field. They pored over every shred of evidence, every piece of testimony, and their conclusion supports the lone gunman theory. While the idea of a second shooter is intriguing, the evidence seems to point to a lone gunman. But remember, the complexity of this case means that debate continues, and that's okay. After all, it's through questioning, probing, and challenging that we continue to seek truth and understanding. What impact have these conspiracy theories had on our society? Well, the persistence of JFK conspiracy theories has left a profound impression, fostering a legacy of suspicion and mistrust in government institutions that still resonates today. This is no small matter. When citizens begin to doubt the integrity of their government, the institutions we rely on for our safety and security can become compromised. This suspicion, once seeded, has a tendency to grow and spread. It can lead to skepticism of official reports and distrust of authority figures. This is the ripple effect of conspiracy theories. They don't just question the accepted narrative of a single event, they can undermine the public's faith in the very institutions that uphold our society. Moreover, the debate over the JFK assassination continues to this day. Despite numerous investigations, forensic evidence, and expert consensus, the question of whether there was a second shooter remains one of the most enduring and controversial aspects of this case. It's a topic that sparks fierce debate and divides opinion even among those who usually see eye to eye. Polls indicate that a significant portion of the American public believes in conspiracy theories surrounding the event. This is a testament to the power of these narratives, their ability to burrow deep into our collective consciousness and shape our understanding of history. The JFK assassination is not just a chapter in a history book, it's a story that continues to be written and rewritten by each new generation. This enduring fascination with the event, the emotional impact of Kennedy's death, and the complexity of the case have all contributed to the ongoing debate and the enduring appeal of conspiracy theories. They have become a part of our cultural fabric, a lens through which we view our past and interpret our present. The JFK assassination and the conspiracy theories that surround it have left a lasting impact on our society, fostering a culture of suspicion and debate. As we move forward, it's important that we continue to question, to investigate, and most importantly, to seek the truth. For it's only through the pursuit of truth that we can hope to understand our past and shape our future. So where does this leave us? Well, the JFK assassination is, without a doubt, an enduring controversy that has sparked endless debates. Theories abound, yet the official investigations, the meticulous forensic evidence, and the consensus among experts overwhelmingly support one conclusion: that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Yet despite this compelling evidence, the debate rages on. Why? Perhaps it's the emotional impact of Kennedy's death that keeps these theories alive. His assassination was not just a tragic event, but a moment that altered the course of a nation. Its shockwaves are still felt today, contributing to an enduring fascination with every aspect of the case. In the end, the JFK assassination echoes as a somber reminder of our history, a mystery that continues to captivate our collective imagination. The theories, the debates, the intrigue, they all contribute to this enduring narrative. The JFK assassination remains one of America's most enduring mysteries, a tragic event that continues to captivate and divide us. This is The Truth Chronicles, signing off. Before we sign off, we want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you believe in the lone gunman theory, or do you support the idea of a second shooter? Or perhaps you have a completely different theory altogether? Let us know in the comments below. We value your thoughts and are always keen to foster a community of curious minds. And remember, it's okay to question, to seek answers, and to engage in respectful, thought-provoking dialogues. That's what The Truth Chronicles is all about. We also encourage you to share this video with others who might be interested in this topic. Who knows, you might spark a new theory or bring new light to an old one. Lastly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss our future investigations. Your support helps us continue our mission of delving into the world's most enduring mysteries and controversies. This is The Truth Chronicles, signing off. Thank you for watching and stay curious.